All right, let's talk USC Trojans. Lincoln Riley has done a heck of a job over the past few weeks. Again, we talked about it at the time. Slow start to the offseason. A lot of momentum since, really strong finish with his hires and his work in the recruiting department. But as we focus and get closer to 2025 spring ball, we also have to keep an eye on the out years, the future, and the long-term pipeline for the Trojans. And to that end, USC seems poised to make an absolutely massive move. We got great news for you guys out of Los Angeles. But first, I'm Nick, and this is Saturday Morning Inspection. All right, the USC Trojans have been making nothing but great moves over the past couple weeks. That trend has continued. Let's pull up this report courtesy of the Sporting News. It looks like the Trojans are trending towards landing a talented quarterback in the 2026, talking about the out years now, recruiting class. Ryder Lyons, great name, a five-star quarterback hailing from Folsom, California, is ranked as the number 3 quarterback in the 2026 class by On3 Sports. He is also ranked as the number 10 overall recruit in the class. According to On3 Sports, Lyons is also trending towards landing with USC. They are giving the Trojans a 97.8% chance of landing the talented quarterback prospect. That's oddly specific, but we'll take it. No other team is given a greater than 1% chance of receiving his commitment. So basically, it's the Trojans and then just a miracle change for one of these other programs. Looks like USC is going to get a generational quarterback talent once again in Ryder Lyons for the 2026 class. Lincoln Riley doing what he does best, getting great quarterbacks onto his programs. Miles, I'm curious what your thoughts are here. But first, USC fans in the comment section below, as we get ready for spring ball, it's not that far away. What's one player you really think is going to have a breakout season for USC? A guy that, is a young guy, maybe hasn't gotten a lot of opportunities or went through some lumps early in his career, but you think is about ready to explode. Give us your breakout candidate for this USC team, offense, defense, special teams. It doesn't matter. Put them in the comment section below. But Miles, what are your thoughts on this latest news involving the Trojans?
Yeah, Nick, I think this is fantastic news for the Trojans, specifically just because Lincoln Riley, he's a guy, he should be the quarterback guru. He should be able to get all of the talented quarterbacks. So you would expect him at least every year to bring in another bite of the apple because they all don't pan out necessarily. They have another guy in Hassan Longstreet coming in this 2025 class, another five-star quarterback, number 3, another guy, local California guy. But Lincoln Riley, he should be able to get every top tier California quarterback because what he's able to do at the quarterback position. And I think this is just showing he is really doing his job here. It's really narrowing down and dominating the California quarterback market. We talk about it all the time. Got to dominate in state. And when you're in state and it's your pedigree as well, as far as developing quarterbacks, you really have to lock those guys down. And Lincoln Riley showing once again, he's able to do that here with the, like you said, oddly specific 97.8% chance to land Ryder Lyons. It sounds like at this point it's just a formality. The other guys, he's beaten out some really great teams as well. Ole Miss, who's had some really great quarterbacks in the past. Oregon, who's had some great quarterbacks in the past. Alabama, really great recruiting team as well. So it's not like he's just beating out UCLA and some other random California teams. Going up against the big dogs, obviously, we're talking about a major 5-star top 10 recruit here. So Lincoln Riley, he's dominating California. He's dominating the quarterback market. This is what he's got to do. He's got to keep doing these kind of things to show that, hey, we own California. We own the top tier quarterback market. And that's got to be what USC is, because that is how his offense runs. It's through the quarterback. He needs the guy that's able to run his offense. And I think showing this latest move, that everybody's understanding that, and he's able to capitalize on the opportunity to get these type of top tier players.
I think we've talked about it a bunch of times when we've done videos about USC, is that what this program needed, and they've done it this offseason, is to hire people to address defense, defensive recruiting, defensive talent development, and overall organizational structure, getting some great hires into the program just to manage the operations, recruiting, NIL, things like that. Because the one thing you knew with this USC program with Lincoln Riley as a head coach is that they would crush it in the recruiting department when it came to the most important position on the field, and that is the quarterback position. Everything else you knew you could was a problem you had to solve, right? Okay, how do we develop better players defensively? How do we recruit better defensively? How do we handle NIL? How do we bring in people to handle football operations better? All that kind of stuff. And USC's done a phenomenal job addressing all of those things. But the one thing, and you and I talked about it a bunch, that USC will continue to be good at is recruiting the quarterback position. And this latest massive move they're about to pull off is just further proof of it. And this is why Lincoln Riley was such a good hire by USC. I know the way things looked last season at times, it felt kind of rough first year in the Big Ten, but the reality is long-term success in the NFL and now the college football world too is predicated on being really good at the quarterback position. Look, every once in a while, you'll get an Ohio State team with a great roster. They go on a magical run, win a national title with above average quarterback play. Fantastic. The reality is that's not sustainable. Elite teams, year in and year out, have elite quarterbacks. If you want to win titles, you got to be great at that position. If you want to compete consistently for titles, you got to be consistently great at that position. We know USC will be that way with Lincoln Riley, with his recruitings. The fact that he's able to do that with back-to-back classes, back-to-back kids is really commendable. Great job by him. And that's why his other hires, his other moves in this organization to fill out some of their other weak spots was so smart. It's almost like, listen, you guys handle these other things I'm not so good at because push comes to shove. I'm going to get great signal callers. And that's exactly what Riley does. I credit to him for executing, right? Because if they didn't get these great recruits in terms of the quarterback position, he would be fired so fast because there's no one he can blame if it doesn't work out. He can't blame his defensive coordinator. He can't blame NIL transfers or things like that. If they can't recruit the quarterback position, that's supposed to be his thing. And he went out and he got it done. And he's about to get it done again. Phenomenal work by Lincoln Riley. And again, more and more momentum building for USC.